So for some reason, this last batch of bottom boards, the sides are cut undersize. So the entrance reducers aren't the full width, which is a problem because of mice. So there's one hive I have with this. And if we check the bottom board, we can see that mice are in this hive. Mice crap and big chunks of capping. So we need to do something here. One thing, I'm going to just take the bottom board out. Unfortunately, I've had a little bit of COVID causing a bit of a problem here, so I haven't been able to be on top of the bees as much as I had wanted to be. There's definitely mice that have gotten in here. That dark lump back there is actually the cluster of bees. I haven't seen any grass in the hive, which is an indication that they might be building a nest. So I have a feeling what we're dealing with is some daytime diners that come in and chomp away at the comb. To ensure that there were no mice in the hive at this point, I left the front open and did an oxalic acid treatment. Any mice that might have been in there would have, run for the hills when that stuff started coming through. And then it was a matter of taking some 1/4-inch mesh and stapling it on the front so we would not have our visitors to return and chomp on more comb. This is another handy thing about having the whiteboard on the bottom. You pull it out and you look at that. If you see tiny little granular bits of wax, you know that's normal. If you see big chunks of wax and, mouse poop, then you know you got a problem without having to open the hive. Even though there were no indications that I had mice on any of the other colonies, I decided to put these screens on every colony. I don't have them flat up against the entrance reducer because that way, if bees were to die, they would block off the entrance a little bit too easily. This way, there's a little bit of area between where the entrance reducer is and where the screen is. It's just enough room for them to get in and out. They are capable of doing it. Takes them a few seconds to figure it out. Today was a slightly warm day, but boy, was that about to change. And they go through. And lastly, we can see what they're doing with the sugar. They are eating it down, and they're buzzing around in there. And we'll add more sugar in a while. In the weather forecast, we had what was known as a bomb cyclone coming in. Although we weren't expecting too much snow out of it, the winds would be howling and the temperature outside was going to be around 6 degrees. And I had not insulated the hives, as I said, because last December was so warm. But I wanted to do something here now. These burlap boxes that I have on top, there's a screen that separates them from the bees, which means they can't propylize that gap. So I decided to take some shrink wrap and just go over each of the hives so that there wouldn't be any cracks and openings to allow the wind to howl in. As I mentioned in my last video, the videos are probably going to be a few weeks between because of the fact that when you get into winter, not too much is happening. But when something does happen that's of importance, or I think sharing it could help somebody out, I try to put them up. The situation with field mice in the winter is always a problem. And yes, a very effective way of chasing them out of the hives is to open the front gate, put some oxalic acid vapor in there, and it is just as bad for them as it is for us humans. And they'll come running out if they're in there. In this case, I lucked out. I wasn't torturing any of the poor little rodents. But I don't want anybody going in there and ripping apart and eating the supplies that are meant for the bees. I want to come, into the spring and not find out that half the comb was destroyed by field mice. On a personal note, my health has returned and my energy has returned, so that's a good thing. So until next time, signing out from Buzz Park.